Where's everyone going? What's wrong?
Yar, she blows.
Oh, Maud, I turned your dream of a Christian amusement park into a bee-amusement park.
It's a miracle. What's that floating mask? You want me to shoot everyone? No, I'm just screwing with you. It's a miracle.
Leak in the line? This isn't a divine miracle. Everyone's just getting goofy from the gas. Hello, gas company? How poisonous is your gas? Wow. I gotta close Praiseland down. Someone could get hurt.
Ned, look at those smiling faces. Rich laughing with poor, bullies breaking bread with nerds, orphans lighting candles over a leaking gas line.
I can't feel my legs.
You know, we have a lot of expressions in the English language.
I don't even know what I'm saying.
What are we talking about?
Where'd that come from?
Most all of us use them every day.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means.
You know, we just say them as if they really made sense.
I mean, how silly is that?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
What the f*** is he talking about?
Yo, what is up? What is good? I'll be trying something new. That was a different one, wasn't it? You know what it is. You know who it is. It's me, Mario. Welcome to the Appraise the Phrase Show, Origins of Everyday Expressions. We're here to do three things: confirm the meaning, assess the value, and unveil the origin of common everyday phrases.
Hey, Mario.
I'm in the building. Guess who else is in the building? What's up, brother?
Yo, I feel like you're gonna try something new when we start the show every time, just to make sure that I'm on point.
Correct.
I don't know what that was. I don't know what radio personality that was.
I was like, I've been studying. You know, shout out to the late Kasem. Can't do him.
I felt like that's the second what it was. It was like right in between that and the Love Hour.
Yeah, exactly. I was like Quiet Storm.
Yeah.
Well, trying, man. Trying.
Hey, man. You're not 15.
Yeah. What's going on with you, though, man? I'm sorry. Let me actually check in. How are you?
No, man. Great. Gucci, brother. Getting close, man. Getting close to these events that we have coming up. So I'm a little bit more excited with each week getting tasks done. You know, that's even better too as well. That always feels good when you accomplish things, even small tasks, man. When you beat those small battles, man, they feel great. So getting a couple of those out the way. So getting ready for this big war come October. So.
Woo. Dog. Yeah. I feel you. Yeah. Let's get into it today. It's not just me and 20 here. We have another lovely guest. We're back into it. If y'all are paying attention, We're back into it for the season. We are having company. We got our carpets clean, windows wiped. You know what I'm saying? For Breeze on the couches. We got everything ready to have guests. So let me not wait. This person, we're like newfound long time. It's like the souls, as soon as we met, the souls were like, hey, something about you. I rock with you. And it's like been confirmed every opportunity since then. So let me not waste no time. We have the founder of TravelToConnect, Sarah Tagger, is in the building. Sarah, what's good?
Hey, so good to be here. So excited to be with you both today. Thanks so much for having me. Mario, I couldn't agree more. So grateful for our friendship.
Of course. It's like, when you can cross the lines of like, hey, you're being cordial, well-wish, to like, no, this person is a decent person and I rock with what they got going on. So how can we like make sure what's going on keeps going on better? That's what we could do. So before we get into it, let's say 20 never met you.
Let's say that. Let's
act like that. That's true. What would you explain yourself to him and anybody that might be listening or watching?
Yeah. Well, I will start by saying that I feel like the biggest words that define me are food and travel. And anything that exists in the intersection of that is just my world. I just feel like food is such an amazing way to connect with other people around the world. And I absolutely adore traveling. I always had this travel bug. I was like one of those people that wouldn't put down any book they could find as a kid that was about travel and seeing the world and uncovering mysteries and understanding more about people. And then when I finally was old enough to get out there and go, I just started booking flights left, right, and center. Mario knows that whenever I can catch a flight, I'm on one. And I just finished my 85th country, which was super exciting. And along the way, have just tried to stop and eat whatever I can and listen to the stories of the people who make the food.
Ooh, the crowd going. Listen, 85.
I was just about to say, she definitely got the small little flex on all these couch bugs in here, man.
Exactly.
Like, look, dude, I'm like,
look, while you're watching this YouTube, you can it's a travel show. Like, you can take your phone with you. You don't have to sit. Go now, actually.
Yeah, oh my goodness, 85th. Which one's your favorite one, if you don't mind me asking a quick question?
Ooh, that is a tough question, because I feel like every place that I've been to has so much to offer in its own right. Every place is so different. The people are different. The vibe is different. The culture is different. I would say that some of my top few, I love Mexico. Mexico is such a massive, diverse country, and every part of Mexico has different cuisine, different legends, different stories, different history, traditions, and so there's always more to discover there. I recently went, a few years ago, to Oman, and that was a really incredible surprise because I don't know a lot of people who've been there, and I didn't know what to expect. It's a lot of desert landscape, but the people were so kind, so hospitable. We ate a lot of dates from the Arabian desert, which was like just perfection, delicious. And the water there is incredible. A lot of snorkeling, swimming for people who are interested in that. That's like a really good place to go. And Argentina. Argentina is really up there. The scenery is just stunning. It's a huge country, and so you really have a vast array of landscapes, and depending what part of the country you're in, it's a totally different vibe. So I don't know. It's hard to pick. I could say something.
I can definitely hear the views and the food, and definitely Mexico. A lot of my good friends, they've gone back to like Mexico City, and I'm just like, why? And it's like, bro, the food there is amazing. So I definitely want to make a trip out there. And Argentina, I heard Argentina was just phenomenal too as well. So I'll give you that. Hell yeah. That's what's up.
Hell yeah. Real quick. Give us a little, because we'll give you some more time at the end, but a little bit about TravelToConnect real quick.
Yeah. So TravelToConnect was an initiative that I started that was born out of this idea that the world just feels a little bit better when we have the chance to know each other. So I did my master's a few years ago in international relations. And when it came to doing my thesis, I was like, what am I going to write about? Like, what feels like the right niche? And I wrote about tourism as a tool for diplomacy, and specifically gastrotourism and culture tourism, and thinking about the ways that when people travel and they meet each other and they connect with each other and they eat together and they share these experiences, that they can build better relationships. And so this initiative was born as an opportunity to really help drive that forward. And I kind of work in two areas. One piece is helping people learn how to travel, so being a travel coach, and really helping people understand why travel can be so empowering, removing the obstacles in their way, whether it's perceived or real or whatever feels like it's getting in the way of them getting these travel experiences, and helping them build the right opportunities to get out there and meet people. And then the second piece is really working on the other side with the tourism providers and helping them identify their best food and culture experiences and how they can really help make sure that the most authentic, most organic, most meaningful experiences for the people on the ground are reaching the travelers who want to come and learn about their countries and about their cities.
Yep.
Yeah, we show you love on this show, man.
Yeah,
when you come about, when you bring that energy, man, the crowd definitely gives that energy back.
I'm soaking it up.
They know.
They love it. They must be some travelers that in the audience that's loving it right there, huh?
Yeah.
Heard about those dates.
Everybody wants to get them a nice fresh date.
That's what it is.
Good. So good. Let that be the only reason people go, and it's worth it. It's so good.
There it is. Well, in the great segue master, lessons that I've learned, I'm going to use this perfect example of what Sarah's all about, what we're all about, connecting people, language, the mass appeal of the very common thing that we do every day, to introduce the phrase for today. So we're going to see why a little more later, why this phrase is important in the space. But just in general, we are going to unveil the origin, confirm the meaning, and assess the value of breaking bread.
And in 8 parts, I'll explain that phrase.
All right. So we're going to start with 20. Lay the land. How do you connect with this phrase? What do you know about it?
Okay. All right. On the surface,
on the
surface, it's just when you're sitting down and you're having a meal with somebody, or maybe even somebody that you might not know. Just on the surface, just having a meal and connecting with an individual or a group of people through food, right? In my culture, I feel like breaking bread is hits a little bit more of on just lending a helping hand, and overall, like whether it's food, whether it's money, whether it's just your time in general, just giving. How about that? I'm gonna just leave it at that, giving, because I don't want to take away too much of the time on explaining it, but just like giving something, giving time, giving food, giving money, giving to someone who has less.
Heard that.
And that's all I have to say about that.
All right. Sarah. Oh, we got a lot going on, Sarah.
We got it all, Sarah. All right.
I love it.
How about you, Sarah? What Sarah brought this phrase. So talk to us.
Oh, 20, that was great. I mean, I certainly did not invent this one. I'm excited to learn from you all what the history is here. But breaking bread to me has always meant, I mean, when you listen to it in like a literal sense, it's like, okay, splitting a piece of bread. If I'm sitting at the dinner table and I got this big loaf in the middle of the table, or whatever type of bread it is, flatbread, any variation, just ripping a little piece off and sharing it with a friend. But if I dive a little deeper and I really think about what it means, it's like I'm taking something that's mine and I'm sharing it with you because it's important for me to feel connected to you in that moment. And likewise, I want, to be able to be at a table where someone feels like they can share a piece of themselves with me. So when I really reflect on the meaning, that's what it feels like to me.
Right.
Hell yeah.
I like that.
And that's all I have to say about that.
What about you, Mario?
Yeah, me. So typically, if I'm not coming in hot, as 20 in our common listeners know, our committed listeners, if I'm not coming in hot, I'm actually like sitting back. But with this one, it was interesting because as I was doing the research, I'm like, and I worked very hard to not have a biased eye as I'm like looking and connecting dots and stuff. I'm like, where's the one about money? Because like I'm so far gone into like bread meaning money in my everyday life that I'm like, where's the one about money? So I had to like retrace my steps to like every time I've heard it said, and one person in particular has said it the most to me, real talk. Like I can actually identify one person. Shout out to Lou Adams. I was just on the phone with him yesterday. He was on the first episode of the Mental Health Playbook. I'm just plugging like crazy, but it's real. And he's one of the dudes that helped start. He played in the league as well. He helped start the legacy football movement out in Michigan, and then how we expanded that. So he just will always say, hey, man, like, I know we getting this work in, and we would grind to get legacy off the ground. But he was like, we got to go break bread together. Like, yeah, we make these memories on Saturdays and then Tuesday through Thursday when we prepping, but let's go do something for ourselves and show each other we really rock with each other. So that's actually how I connect with it, bro. But my mind always said, oh, you want to, it's like spending money on one another. Like the commitment of like, hey, I'm willing to spend some money on you is where I took it, but it was actually never outside of the context of like sitting down and eating either. So I'm trying to like, you feel me? Yeah. So like I was in a bunch of different places.
The food part
with it.
It was just always took over from the, okay.
You feel me? Because I'm like bread. Like I call money bread all day long.
Yeah. I get that. No, I feel you. I think culturally it kind of took over from sitting down, having a meal with someone, as opposed to like, let's get money together. Something
like that. You feel me? So that's why I'm like, all right, I gotta reel it in. Reel it in.
Reel it in. Yeah, reel it in.
Across the board of all the things that all of us said, it's like the idea of just sharing time and space and energy and love and care with people, whatever that looks like.
Whatever that looks like. And that's kind of where I'm like, all right, when we first mentioned this, Sarah, about doing this, I'm like, this is just from I rock with this standpoint, or this has a real connection to me standpoint. It stood out. So I was like, I actually, you know, stand a little bit behind the curtain, with what Sarah's doing with TravelToConnect and just the things she's passionate about. We were in another forum and she mentioned it, and I was like, I got to. I'm not an opportunist derogatory, I'm an opportunist complimentary. So I was like, hey, yo, let's look, gotta do, bloop, hoop, and here we are. So that's how committed I was when I heard these two words put together. So let's jump into the definitions real quick, man. Hold on.
And that's all I have to say about that.
For me. So we'll start with Cambridge. Cambridge Dictionary defines breaking bread or to break bread as, there's two. One, to eat a meal, and two, to take Holy Communion. So we're going to talk about like how now there's two definitions like stapled for like people to take in. All right. Then we got Oxford, one of my favorites, growing. Cambridge used to be. Oxford is hawking them. They also have two. It's to share a meal with someone, and then to celebrate the Eucharist. All right. And then we got dictionary.com, who has been left on the court, not getting picked this season. Like, hey, we haven't picked them this season.
Hey, dictionary.com is that one that can get you a good play, but it'll play no defense. Like it's missing something, right? It's always missing something, Sarah. So it's like, I want to mess with it, but then again, it's like
I can't pick. All right. So today it was like I looked around. I was like, all right, dictionary.com. You can play with us. You can get in. You can play with us. So dictionary.com defines breaking bread is to have a meal, eat. Okay. All right. So let's go in a little bit reverse order, not starting with me, starting with Sarah. Right. Which do you have one that resonates more? Anything that sticks out between the three? I'm happy to repeat.
I mean, listen, whenever I hear the word eat, that's going to be a solid in my book. But I will say the first definition on each of these is essentially the same, which is kind of interesting because I'm sure it's not always the case.
Not at all.
Not at all.
But like eat, yeah, I mean, share a meal together, eat. We kind of got a three-way tie a little bit, but dictionary maybe a little bit higher because of that eat use.
Yeah. Yeah. 20, where you at, bro?
Oh man, you know what? I will say this, like it's always there in your back of your mind, but I feel like it is a religious saying. Like it is like it's never like you never really think about it, because when I first hear it, it's like break bread like Jesus said. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the saying, and it's even in a movie. I want to say Baby Boy, if I can reference correctly. But
we will fact check.
The Asiatic man, the original man. Salam, break bread, brother.
It's always one of those things where in the back of your mind, yes, I feel like it's a biblical thing, but then again, it's been out for so long, so you don't really relate it to it. So like when you come with the second meaning, which is obviously a little bit more powerful than the first one, you kind of brings you back down to earth, or bring you back down to reality. But I'm telling you, whenever you hear it, it's like, sit down, let's eat. Sit down, let's eat. So like Sarah, I could say, I think you can go with any one of them. Let's just go with dictionary.
Y'all feel sorry for dictionary is what I actually
because
truly
of that three,
feel.
That last second shot. Exactly. It was that last second throw up prayer that went in with the eat, the comma eat. It's like, okay.
Episode 10. It took you 10 episodes, dictionary.com. You're getting some love. Good for you. All right, for me, I'll keep it brief because y'all share mostly my thoughts on the three. Plus, I have some time to sit with it, of course. Can't separate they're not allowing you, what the definitions are doing for two of them, dictionary.com not so much, is not allowing you to separate the religion, the historical religious context with like the practical context.
Yeah.
And to your point, 20 is like, if you get a phrase or a saying or any like thing that becomes so practical, even if it has religious context, I think this one where it's actually more spiritual. Like religion got it right finally, because it's like if it's more practical than religious, damn right. That's how I feel. Like it shouldn't only exist in theory or esoterically. Like I should be able to put my hands on a principle. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I like about it. But I will say that Oxford stands out for me with the word share. That's the only one that has share in it. The other ones like are eating and meal and stuff. But Oxford says share. So I'm giving them some love, a little shout out. But with that said, let's get into the history of this stuff.
Where'd that come from?
Okay, first little bit. It's commonly referenced as originating in Christianity, but actually it's early Judaism that the ritual breaking bread began. So according to the Messianic feast, or there's another like the Messianic, it was something banquet, and there's another word I saw, Messianic feast, Messianic banquet. Jewish people see the ritual of breaking bread as a progression from natural to spiritual, like an actual like symbolic meaning. And in the scriptures, the breaking of the bread first came up when God gave the law to Moses to break 12 loaves on the Sabbath, 12 big ones. And then taking it back to practical in those times, right? Like the bread then was far harder than soft bread, like bread as we know it. So one could not just tear it. Like you really breaking it. Like it's not like being extreme. You're breaking the bread. So, you know what I'm saying? You could share it and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I thought, okay, cool. We solidified the definitions. Like, yes, the religious context is there. Symbolic context is there with an actual practical origin right there. Boom. Didn't have to like do a lot of work, a lot of gymnastics. But I'm like, all right, man, we are in 2025. Why was bread so hard to cut back then? I was like, I gotta do our people that solid. What was going on? Like, we're here to educate as much as we are to storytell. So bread was hard to cut and was broken by hand for a combination of practical reasons. The nature of the ingredients and the baking methods produced a dense, tougher bread. So flour used in biblical times was milled with stone grinders. It's not like the super fine choppies we got today. So it resulted in a more coarse, gritty flour than we're used to. And it contained like husks, like husks in the grain. So like, yeah, it was up in there.
Yeah. Hey, just pour all that shit up in there and just put
like hurry up. We do have all day because what is a day? But, but also hurry up because we don't have we just have candlelight. So let's eat while we got some of the sun out.
And also like you don't know how long your teeth are gonna be good enough to bite through that thing. You gotta
listen.
Crack some stones in there. Like that's work.
Listen, like look. Can we make the bread before I can't eat the bread, please?
Yeah.
Not only that, but the modern ovens. Without modern ovens, like you're not getting like a soft.
Right.
Hey, you don't know how hot is hot.
You're not getting that brioche in that oven, Playboy. That brioche ain't coming out right in that oven. No.
Yes. And then of course we have to mention like leavening versus unleavening. Like we've heard the stories, or if you have any type of indoctrination whatsoever, you've heard the stories of like leavening versus unleavened bread and the Passover style bread and what was essential for carrying and things like that. So that's why. Now the crossover happened. When did it start getting softer? The 1920 or the 16th century was when it's like yeast leaven started to get popular. So you're starting to gain traction for softer bread. And then the 1920s, obviously technological advances like the Corley Wood bread process. Look it up. I did not take a step further, but the Corley Wood bread process, CHORLEYWOOD, all one word. Look it up. Came out in 61. Changed the game because what it did was get us even more addicted because it added sugar and fats and emulsifiers so that we can keep it on the shelf just a little longer.
Oh.
Yeah. So, real quick story before I actually ask y'all to tell me a story about your lives is that I, young man from Detroit, I was around. I got around before I went out to Europe, but Europe is really when like my travel bug and my exposure to the world happened. So I get over to Europe. I'm like, I eat white bread, wheat bread, whatever. In the dead of night, I'm like, okay, I'm hungry. I'm an athlete. I have to eat when I'm hungry. There's no putting it off. I'm like, well, I'm not leaving because things aren't open 24 hours in Germany like they are in the States. Not complaining, just stating a matter of fact. I'm like, what do we have downstairs? Bread. I run downstairs. I get me a loaf. I bite into it, and I'm like, yo, I'm not going to finish this loaf because I realize that it is not sweet like I'm used to. So I can't just eat bread by itself like in the States. Like you could just give a kid a piece of bread really because it's sweet. And I just, so thank you to the Corley Wood baking process for that thing. Now, for me, to you, so like hard bread was once about like practicality, even like elements of survival. While softer bread became about like, hey, let's just eat bread to really just enjoy bread in general and make it last longer. So tell me, and I'll start with you, Sarah, what's something in your life where it was started out as like just getting by or just like I'm doing this for practical matters, and then it developed into something that became more passionate or more like I love this enjoyment. This is something that I'm turning into something in my life. You got something for us?
Ooh. Yeah, that's a great question. And of course, not surprisingly, I'm going to loop it back to food because
let's do it.
What else are we doing, I always cooked what I needed to cook to just have food on the table. Whatever, I needed to have that day, if I had stuff in the fridge that needed to get used up or like, was just super hungry, needed to make a big dinner, whatever it was. But during COVID, we all had a lot of extra time. And I was like, why don't I try to turn cooking into something that feels a little bit more exciting for me, that I can be a little bit more experimental with? Maybe there's a way to think about the ways my travels have impacted and influenced ideas for different recipes and try to get a little creative. And one thing about me is that I'm the kind of person, I recently did a strengths finders test, if anybody's familiar with that. And my first strength on there was activator, which basically means you just do things and then you think about the consequences after. I don't think that's exactly what it said on the test, but it's a strength. But they say you just go for it. So I'm very much like that in cooking. I just wing a recipe, hope for the best, and then see how it comes out. And like if it works out, awesome. I'll try to recreate it again. And if it doesn't, that's fine, on to the next thing. But I never really follow the recipe. So anyways, I got really into thinking of these different creative ways to make stuff. And I got really obsessed with making brunch spreads, but not your typical brunch with like your French toast and your omelets and your whatever. I wanted it to be like different and unique. So I started thinking about the places I had been in the world where I'd had some of the best breakfasts that I really loved. And I would make a bunch of things from that cuisine, from that culture to the best of my ability and like throw in some different experimental ideas and really wing it and just take a few hours and make this fat spread of food and invite my friends over and my family over and break bread with them. No teeth were harmed in the process of this, as far as I know. But just really started to like enjoy what it meant to slow down and think about the things that are in the food that I'm eating. I had found that when I was traveling and eating with people that I would ask a lot of questions about the origins of the food and the legends and the stories and understand it through them. But when I had the chance to like put my hands on it and to actually cook and to actually make something and think about how it got to my plate and what it represented and what the stories I was bringing to the forefront were while I was cooking, it made it a lot more meaningful. So I really grew to love it. I don't cook as much now that we're out of that, quarantine period, but I'd like to continue the ritual because it definitely grew a place in my heart.
Hell yeah. That's fire. That's fire. What I'm gonna have to ask on an aside, off the record, to get some of that spread. That's all.
I need. Yeah, hey, listen. I was about to say, when we coming for brunch?
Exactly.
invite. You have a standing invite. Mario knows that I'm here and I'm there and I'm always kind of on the go. But wherever I am, you all are invited. So come anytime and I'll cook for you.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 20, you got one for us?
Honestly, to be totally honest with you, I will say what we're doing right now, man. I mean, like you brought the idea to me early, and at first I was like, "Oh, that's dope, man." You know,
Yeah.
Good, man. Oh, good for you, Mario, man. Good hell
for
yeah,
you.
brother. Positivity. Words of affirmation. Hell yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? and you know, when you brought me when I did the first show, I was like, damn, that was actually pretty dope. That was actually like pretty dope. Like that was actually pretty cool. And then when you start to take off, and I was like, man, I wish I could be on another show. Like I was like, I wish I could be on another show, because honestly, when it first happened, I didn't have too much information about it. I was just doing it as a friend,
Yep.
and as a brother. And then you invited me on the second show, and I felt like I opened up a little bit more because I was so excited to get back on. And I was like, damn, this is actually an amazing thing that Mario got going on. And you know, that's when I told you, however I can help, whatever you need, I'm down for it, bro. Like I believe in what you're saying. I believe in the movement. And here we go for
Here
you.
we are.
Four seasons later, brother. 4 seasons later. You know, now I'm having meetings. I gotta wake my ass up for meetings for it and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like real. Like it's serious now. It's super serious now. It's not just, hey, let me just get up here and talk about phrases. No, it's becoming a brand. It's becoming something that I talk about without it being brought up. So it's like one of those things where, yeah, I would say this. If I'm being totally honest with myself and our audience, man, this was something that I didn't think was going to lead to this, but I'm so grateful and I'm so happy that it did.
Hey, man, I got a master plan typically. No,
yeah, it's right here. I'm gonna give them a crumb. I'm gonna break up a crumb.
Exactly. You know what though? Shout out to you. It was actually Underdog. It was actually Underdog that was like, hey, obviously I was endeared, right?
Yeah.
You're my best friend. That's why you were on the first episode, like ever, right? But Underdog was like,
check that out, y'all. Go check that out.
Yeah, exactly. Go see what to each his own, actually. And we as because I mapped out the first 5. I had my first 5 guests. Like cool. And then you were actually 6 or 7 or some shit like that. And it was that after the first one, the president of Underdog was like, hey, that Chris guy has something. Right? He said that to me. And he's a very much like we talk about sports, slight business, and anything else is like straight shooting, like absolute straight shot. You know what I mean? And so Dub gets on the second one, 20 gets on the second one, and he's like, yeah, I would think about having him as a standing co-host. And I said, oh yeah. And then I brought it to Dub and he was with it. And I do want to point out before we move on to the next part of the phrase journey is we the first episode of season 2, we had our first expression. It was our first video. You know what I'm saying? We got launched on the network or whatever, and visual. And there was a moment in the show where like we were doing the tournament championship, and we had the expression appraisal team on there. Obviously, y'all know them by now. And I pointed out, I was like, okay, Myron was on this episode, Faye was on this episode, Dre was on this episode, and then Dub says, I was like, which? And then I was like, you were on that one now? He was like, yeah, I think I was on the rest of them. I was like, hell yeah, nigga, that's the pride I want to hear. That's the pride I want to hear. So ever since then, man, it's worked out. So it's no offense. I actually am glad that you did it as a friend, and now you see it as something that we can do as friends.
I wouldn't have not done it. I feel like our friendship was just the foundation of it. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have not done it. Like anything you ask me to do, if I can do it, I'll do it. Just because
that is true as well. We break bread. Man. I don't have a button, but I will get one.
Maybe season 6. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? Instead, I added this.
Hey Mario.
All right, let's keep it going, man, so we can get up out of here. So now early ancient times, let's fast forward to 1395, like when we really start to see outside of your religious background and your cultural group, like how it like becomes a thing that everybody says, right? So you have to. One of the things that spread real fast is religion, y'all. Like we're not gonna like get away from that part. So the Wycliffe Bible from 1395 had in Acts 2:42 and were lasting, stable in teaching of apostles and in conjuring of the breaking of bread in priests. Like again, I have the original writing, so like this is before English is the English we know it as. So I actually don't know what this last word is. But it translates today to they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. So I'm guessing praise is prayer back in English, right? So that's where it spread. And so by the 1300s, between that and then a hymn being called Let Us Break Bread Together, those two things in conjunction start to spread it across common people. Here's why, y'all. John Wycliffe was an English theologian, scholar, and early reformer of the church. He is best known as the morning star of Reformation because his ideas laid the groundwork for later Protestant movements. Wycliffe strongly criticized the wealth corruption and political power of the Catholic Church and argued that the Bible and books of prophets should be the ultimate authority, not people, not the clergy, and that common people should have access to these scriptures, not just, people in big fancy gold places. So his ideas were controversial in his lifetime, and he was actually condemned by the church. And he inspired a whole bunch of movements to push back in England. And then after he passed, his writings continued to influence other reformers and eventually the broader Protestant group. And in 1415, the church declared Wycliffe a heretic and his remains. So after they hated this man so much, after he died, they found his remains and they burned him. Like they hated this guy. They hated this guy because he actually took I think he was an example of breaking bread. Like people should have this thing. We should share out this thing. And I'm not going at all. And they was like, yeah, well, and they got him the hell up out of there twice. So with that said, Wycliffe, he wasn't shy about criticizing powerful people, powerful things, or even just going against the general idea of the landscape, and he shared things. So I'm coming back to you, sir. Share a time where you really said what you meant. Like you was like, I'm standing on this regardless of how it would look or when people were quiet. Have you ever had a moment where you were like, you know what? I got to speak up regardless of how this is going to go.
That is a good question. And I feel like there's been so many moments in life where I feel like I've really had to try to find ways to use my voice and to speak up. I think my parents said since I was a kid, I was just saying what was on my mind and just throwing it out there. And I don't think anything's changed. I mean, I hope in my adult life I've become, a little more refined with the opinions. But I think that, life is always this interesting and delicate balance of standing up and putting it out there, but making sure that you're creating the right space and the right circumstances to be heard, and also to make sure that you stand for what's right and what you truly believe in. It's a really powerful question. You stumped me a little bit, Mario.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant to send you this question, actually.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Doug mentioned like, hey, we're getting. I'm like, okay, the next step at ATP is like, all right, we got to send these questions out to the guests beforehand because they're getting a little more.
No, but I feel like she kind of answered.
She did answer it though, without a
specific.
She answered her stance.
Yeah, and she answered in the beginning. She said, when she took the test, her strength is just doing things without, I don't want to say thinking about it, but you know what I mean? Like without never took it. Yeah, no, sir, I got your back.
That was actually really good support of our guest.
I'm 20. I appreciate it. Thank you. No, I would say though. As we were talking though, I was thinking, and I'm like, a lot of times in this work that I do, there's a lot of opportunities to really elevate and uplift women's voices. And I think that a lot of times we're not always able to share out, especially when we're talking about food, because we know how involved women are in bringing people together and helping to create the spaces where you can break that bread, where you can converse, where you can meet each other. And so a lot of times when I'm sharing out these experiences or working on identifying these meaningful cultural experiences, women hold the bulk of it. And so really helping tell their stories, share it out, help be an advocate, for them to really uplift their voice and show the world what they're made of. And I think that that's something that's given me a lot of like oomph and excitement and just drive in the work that I'm doing.
Yes. We knew you had something. You do, but like I will say, like, doers like do so much that, like, yo, you asking me to list things I've done. Sure, I will as a doer, but like I gotta synthesize that real quick. So I get that. Go ahead,
That, Mario, that lets you know that you do it without wanting anything in return. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do it without seeking that acknowledgement of doing it. Because there's so many times where you've done it and you don't even think about it after you've done it. You just, okay, I got that done. All right, next thing.
Next thing, yeah.
Like, how can I lift the voices of the people who are doing this meaningful thing to represent their communities and represent their people, and they want to come together? Like, how do we really put them front and center?
Right.
That's awesome.
That's real. I mean, I guess to also support that, like for me, it would be hard for me to identify one like standout, like, hey, I'm in the front lines, you know what I'm saying? But I'm typically I don't go for bullying type. I love the smaller voice. You know what I'm saying? I love the not selected, I guess. Like I have an affinity for those types, so that like I'm always ready, and I'm also a fighter in my fight or flight, and I'm also a pivot towards conflictor. So like it's just on a day-to-day basis, I will say something when other people are quiet, but I also will say on like a much less depth level is that I am typically the person that like answers the questions in like forums or meetings or groups. Like I'm like, I will break the silence. I will break the silence. Like I am I have to practice step backs, you know what I'm saying? So other people like introverts and stuff can step forward. I practice that intentionally, but like I will be the person that be like, hey, nobody wants to answer the question that somebody prepped their whole presentation to create a question. Nobody went, all right, I'll answer that shit. I'll do some shit like that.
That's definitely you. That's definitely you. That's definitely you. If I could say something, that's definitely you.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
But that's balance, I feel like. You need to have a little bit of everyone and every kind of personality to make the room rich. Like you gotta have that balance. Some people are like the quiet ones who have the ideas, but they need the right opportunities to share. And some people are able to really vocalize them. Like you need it all.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to seeing how, like with what we do, using it as a vehicle, puts us in spaces with other like types, like more character types. That's one of the things that like is next for us. Like, how can we? Because we're asking certain type, like a lot of creators, a lot of artists are like, I use my art to speak. So, like what's up? Like, don't ask me to do much more. How can we continue to like move them forward and platform and stuff like that? All right, man. Last but not least, we're really jumped off from the 1300s to the 1900s, okay, the 20th century. W.H. Auden wrote poetically, or said poetically, actually, art is our chief means of breaking bread with the dead. And that line hit. And so, like, now you're removing religious context and you're going fully, like, metaphorical common ground. Now, W.H. Auden was an Anglo-American poet known for his technical skill, wit, and deep engagement with moral, social, and political issues in the 20th century. He gained fame in England in the 1930s, for his socially conscious poetry, and he addressed themes like fascism, war, and human responsibility. So he was like talking that talk. He also excelled in a wide range of forms, from lyric and narrative poetry and all the like. So he had like he could make different songs essentially. And he made operas and essays and critiqued society's woes. And he actually is a Pulitzer Prize winner, The Age of Anxiety. I also did not look that up, but I plan to. Sincerely, I plan to. The Age of Anxiety is a poem of his that won a Pulitzer Prize, and then Funeral Blues was another standout. And although he's well published, that line is actually from a speech Like he didn't write that. He said it during a lecture, and the crowd went crazy. He said that in 1967. And so I didn't know much about Auden before this. So like, shout out to him. I plan on looking him up more because he was an advocate, and he really, really like he has witty writing. So I want to see more about that. But 20, I'll ask you this question: if you could sit down, because we got to get there. We're here now, right? Yeah. We're here now. If you could sit down with anybody, speaking of breaking bread, have a meal, snack, whatever, in history, who would it be, and what would you ask? What would the conversation be about if it's not a question? Who would it be? Sarah, you're definitely up next, so I'm giving you a little time.
Bro, you know what? I feel like I've always thought about this. Like it was just in a situation of like, oh, who, you know. But I think Bob Marley would probably be the first person that I would, just in a sense of like what drove him. You know what I mean? What made him feel as if that his voice was necessary. Like obviously experiences that he's gone through and experiences in this country and things like that. But it was a point in time where this dude was very, very vital and very necessary to not just music, but to art in general. And I just feel like that pressure that he had to go through while living in London and everything going on in Jamaica and everybody putting everything on his back, like what made him, what kept him going with that? Because he could have easily got shot, took his family, never looked back, but yet it was just that love for his country and the love for his fellow man back home, like that kind of brought him back and things like that. So I feel like in those moments, like that adversity, how did you get across that adversity when it came down to it?
Yeah. That's real. That's real. I'm gonna let you think again because you also. I kind of want to know. It's across the board as well because I'm gonna share, and I didn't add this caveat, but it could be movie characters anyone, ever existed. So hold that. I'm gonna pass this to Sarah because I got a lineup of 3. So I didn't want to do that lineup and then you know what I'm saying. So I'll give you some time.
It's a party table for 4.
It's table for 4. Yeah, Sarah, how about you?
That is such a good question. I mean, I would, like you, I'd probably have a whole buffet line happening there with like, how many people can I invite?
Yeah.
Because like, honestly, and Bob Marley was such a good answer.
Hell yeah.
And,
I'm like, I didn't even think about mine. That was a great answer.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a huge fan of his music, but in general, just the whole way he approached life and the vibe of just bringing people together and like choosing peace and choosing just people. And I think that that's like really inspirational and special. So he would definitely be at my dinner buffet.
Yeah.
But the first person who came to mind, and I've honestly never thought much about her before, and I don't know why she came to mind, but was Amelia Earhart. She was, I think, the first woman to fly across the Atlantic solo. Yeah. And just what a boss thing to do. Like, what a boss thing to wake up one day, you know, several hundred years ago and say, like, I'm going to get my pilot's license and I'm just going to go and I'm going to see the world and I'm going to push myself out there. And I don't know if she was driven by her love for aviation or if she was driven by her love for exploration or travel or whatever, but I always just thought it was so cool, like, just to like get out there and go. And I think women who get out there and go are huge inspirations to me. So she'd be invited to the dinner party.
Hell yeah. Word.
It's a lot of mystery behind her too, as well. Like if you dig deep into her story, it kind of just like cuts off. So I was like, oh yeah, that's actually a really yeah. She probably seen so much too, as well.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Those are great picks. Those are really, really good picks, man. Damn. So again, I would go with first, if real, if not real, whatever you believe. I would go with David from the Bible. Need to know a lot. Sit down, talk to me. What's going on? What's going through your mind through the whole, like you have a long journey. I rock with David so hard. Y'all don't understand. That's why my son's middle name is David. And I'm like, you've been through a lot, dog. Let's sit, let's eat. I want to know.
Then he probably gonna be like, hey man, this bread too soft.
Yeah, what's up with this sauce?
The sugary bread.
Yeah,
That sugar.
What y'all put added? What kind of additives y'all put in this bread, man? What y'all put in this bread, man? The yeast level too high for this, man. Come on, man. I can't even eat this.
Cottonseed oil's for lighting candles, not for putting in bread.
Exactly.
You know what, Mario? I can't even do that. I can't.
No, that was great, and I need that because it's there. It's really, my imagination is so far, because that's the kind of thing I want. Like, I want the actual thing. Like, yeah, I know. Like, for the glory, right? Got it. But like, for real, like,
that's
for
so funny,
real,
dude.
G. Like, what was going on, dog? And then anyone, but I'm gonna choose Donatello. Any one of the Ninja Turtles will do.
Great choice.
You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you want to, like, know, like, yes, we've seen the movies and we're in, but like,
wait, please.
What, bro? What?
You said David and then Donatello.
The Ninja Turtle, because if you don't say Donatello Ninja Turtle, people will think I mean the artist, and I don't.
Bro, whenever someone says Donatello, I think of the Ninja Turtle before I even think of the artist. I'm so sorry.
I wonder, dog.
Oh, yes, of course. Him. I feel like Donatello and Raphael, definitely before the artist. Definitely before the Renaissance artist. Maybe Leonardo and Michelangelo, you might got that little...
You know what? Oh, you know what, though? You know what? And give me your real
opinion.
Because Michelangelo, for sure, is like 50-50. It could be 50-50 at any given time. Like, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'm actually taking Leonardo the artist out, right? And I'm actually asking y'all, Turtle or DiCaprio? When you hear Leonardo, like...
I have to go with DiCaprio because I got some questions about that raft. I got to know about that raft. Really, could they both not fit on it?
Taking away. Oh, yeah.
I'm not a scientist. Listen, I don't know, but
that was Spielberg, right? That was Spielberg?
I want to say it was. I would like
because
to
whoever
say
the director was recently in this time, in our times, like, did like a recreation to say, like, hey guys. No, he could, like, really trying to defend, but give it a shot.
Quick segue. I actually met him before, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Beautiful.
And coolest guy ever.
Scorpio, of course.
He called me by my actual name, and under my breath, I called him Jack. Under my breath, I call him Jack. I said, "Thank you, Jack."
It probably makes him feel good because Jack was left to his own.
Listen, man. Everybody hates his Rose because of Leonardo DiCaprio, and we don't even know if these characters existed. Like you said, we don't even know these characters existed on the Titanic.
Yep. Got questions.
Just saying.
Yeah.
All right, man.
That's perfect.
I could go all day with this list. I really could, but we made it. We got one more thing to do before our last thing, and that is let's appraise this phrase. So, Sarah, and to the new listeners, welcome. Shame on you, but welcome. This is how we do it. 3-point grading system. Power. Is it impactful when you hear it or say it? Does it move? You know what I'm saying? Does it get its intended job done? I'm going to give that to 20. A through F scale. We got speed. Is it eloquent to say? Easy to say. Does it flow? Catchy? I'll handle that one. And then Sarah will take over our preference grade, where it's like, overall, after everything I've heard or ignoring everything I've heard, do I just rock with it? Do I say it? Whatever your preference is, A through F, talk about it. So 20. What you got? Power.
Listen, man. This one is actually, it was so simple, but so surprising. I'll be honest. It was so simple, so surprising. It was fun. This is probably going to be top 2, and I feel like top 2
in the tourney.
Oh yeah. Because I'm giving it an A+. You know me, bro. Longevity is my thing when it comes to power. And it hasn't even changed since the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, it's still the same thing. When you said it's strong, I mean, it's just been added. Only thing that's changed is the bread. You know, so it's like I'm gonna give it an A+, man, all the way. I feel like this one is a very, very good one. and it makes you feel good. You know, it's one of those things that kind of makes you feel good, not just as an individual, but as a community. You know, and I think that's the most important part.
Heard that. A+, man. A+. I will with the speed. Yeah, this gonna be number one, number two, probably number one. Because depending on what Sarah does here, how you can't beat it. You can never tie
Sarah
it.
just fooled us all.
Yeah, exactly. Because A+, again, the science that I use, what I've used as my metrics,
Them bees,
is can the kids say it without having any intellectual prowess? A regular Degler kid, not a smart kid, not the breaking bread, a young person kid can say that and quickly get the context if explained, or say it and love to say it without knowing what it means. Also, real science, alliteration, good for the brain. Or better yet, the brain likes it. The brain likes alliteration. So boom, it's gonna stick. So two breaking bread. 3 syllables. Now we got to do syllables thanks to D. Lee. Shout out D. Lee, man. 3 syllables. It's just every metric is hitting for me. So A+. A+ for the speed. A+ for the speed. All right, Sarah, where you at? No pressure. It is a phrase that you brought. This could set it up to be the number one overall phrase in the season 5.
But no pressure at all.
But no pressure at all on your grade. Be honest. Honesty over influence.
Honestly, I still have to give it an A+.
Ooh.
I have to get aligned with you both there and just, say it like it is for me, which is just that I think that this is just an all around solid phrase for every reason that you mentioned. I mean, it's just a good way to get the message across, and for it to hold all of these years, like you said, Mario, I mean, we're looking at 1,000 years, 2,000 years,
2,000 if you believe,
I don't
more
know.
if you don't.
If you believe in time, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fact that bread is a good broad category, so you can fit a lot under there, whether it's the stone bread that's maybe gonna kill you, or the bread with the sugar and the emulsifiers, or something else, a cracker, whatever. That's broad. So I feel like it holds the test of time. It holds the test of durability. It has the scope. So I got to match you with the A+.
Hell yeah. And also, may I add that bread is so strong that we use it for one of the most important things in human civilization's history, money.
Money. Yep.
Hey, man.
Yep. And you know what the crazy thing about that, Mario? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to cut it off. But the crazy thing about it is that that's probably why we use it as money. Like this saying is probably why we use the phrase bread for money and breaking bread. You know what I'm saying? Probably why we use that, because I can't think of any other reason to kind of relate it towards money.
Correct. I agree with that 1,000%. I think of it. Yeah, some smooth talker, probably Shakespeare.
Probably Billy.
Probably Billy. Connected the two. So in that vein, though, man, we appraise this phrase, A+, probably number one. In that vein, Sarah, tell us more about breaking bread, your idea of it, and where people can find you and things.
For sure. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me today. This was so much fun. You can learn more about Travel to Connect at my website, TravelToConnect.com. You can also find me on Instagram at Sarah A. Tagger, on TikTok at Travel Coach Tagger, Substack coming soon, Travel to Connect. So anywhere you look for Travel to Connect or Travel Coach Tagger, just my name, you'll find my social handles. But really, I'm just out here trying to make a difference in the way the world comes together. And if there's one thing I could leave y'all with, it would just be, share a meal with someone. Just find a way to connect with people. Get out there to travel. You don't have to fly overseas if you don't want to. You can even just go to the town 5 minutes down the road and learn something new about somebody else and find a way to connect with them through their food, through their culture, through their traditions. That really gives you the chance to just know one another and get a little closer. So.
Cold, man. That's why had to happen. Had to happen, dog. Hey, last thing before we get out of here.
The Dictionary of Misinformation.
Oh, perfect. Oh, Sarah gets to pick a. Oh yeah, Sarah, welcome. This is my favorite part of the show. All right, me and Mario found this book, The Dictionary of Misinformation, and what it does is just gives you just information about things that you've probably been misinformed about. So what we do is we ask our guests, can we get at least one letter? And then Mario's going to go through that dictionary, take that letter and find some type of information starting with that letter that you gave us. And we're going to give you some information that a lot of people are misinformed about. So we're going to ask you for a letter.
I love that. Can we go with Z?
Yes, we can. People don't go with letters that have a high impact in the world. They like to try to trick the book or something.
Yeah, they like to try to make a letter. Oh, boy.
Hey, let's do more origins. Great choice. Let's go crossword puzzle for C, crossword puzzle. Let's go with the origin of the crossword puzzle. Usually thought to have made its appearance on the scene in 1924 with the publication of the first crossword puzzle book by Simon & Schuster Incorporated. The crossword puzzle had actually been presented to the public years earlier in 1913 in a supplement to the New York World on December 21st. It was prepared by Arthur Wynne. Damn. So Arthur Wynne gets no credit, and Simon & Schuster Incorporated usually gets the credit. Wow. Shout out to Arthur Wynne because it stuck. It stuck.
Yeah, shout out to Arthur, brother. Sorry about that, Arthur. He probably do that shit every Sunday. I'm like, man, it's that bullshit, bro. Well, obviously not no more, but still. But like when it was out, I was like, man, the box is all small, man. I had bigger boxes than this, man.
Without Arthur Wynne, we wouldn't have Wordle. All right, man.
Right, exactly.
Never took with something, bro.
This is probably going to be the easiest cast out that I've done, man. Hey, break bread, brother. Break bread with your friends, with your neighbors, with a stranger. You know, don't just settle on just saying hi. Get to know people, man. Travel. Hit up Sarah. She got a plug. She is the plug.
She is the
plug. You need help finding your food and culture experiences. You want to just get out there, but you don't know how? Find me.
Hit her up. She the plug. Yeah. Break bread. Break bread with Sarah. Break bread with Mario. Break bread with me. We'd love to have it. Come on.
Hey, Mario. This is how you can break bread with ATP. You can find us on the Underdog Podcast Network, Google Podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube for the visuals. Go subscribe, like all that stuff. We love it. Go to appraise.com. We got Practice Makes Perfect, the event. Come through. We'll probably just pass when this launches. We got also going on Raise the Bar, ATP Kids Research Game, all the things. Go to appraise.com. We're going to try to get Sarah's travel blog on there. That's how you use pressure.
Don't tell her.
Don't tell her though. Like I haven't asked her yet. All right, man. Hey, last thing. If you don't do nothing else aside from breaking bread, remember that value is in the eye of the appraiser. We will check y'all next week.
Yeah, like